much for sticking around for this final session. Hoping going to be a quite relaxed, fun one. Not too much to learn or take away from this. Hopefully, this is a chance to have a bit of a vent, a bit of Schadenfreude perhaps as well. I realise, thanks for coming to this session. I realise there's no other competition, but there's always the pub and stuff which lures us away. So we've had a couple of days, I guess 3 days really, of sitting around in rooms talking to one another about how clever we are and how good we are at doing things. So I guess this is a bit of a counterpoint to that, a way of just talking about how stupid and how shit we are at times as well. We're all here because we love games, we make games, we play games, they're a big part of our lives, most of this in this room, I'm sure. But a lot of the conversations we have around the place are things that annoy us, how hard they are to make, how we balls them up, how someone else balls them up. And that's really what this session is about today. It's probably worth mentioning this was originally going to be a debate session, but it was just determined in the end that the other side of the debate is indefensible. It's just impossible really to have that discussion. I mean, what are we going to do? Sit up here as developers and say everything's great, everything that we do is wonderful. The medium's an exciting one, it's a lot of potential, there's a lot of good things that are happening in games. We hope that from year to year they are improving, but obviously the side of the prosecution is well and truly equipped. And the other thing we could have done, of course, which was dismissed almost as soon as it was thought of, was what's wrong with games and the games industry, and the other side of game developers saying, well, what's wrong with games criticism? But of course that's like, if you've got a guy holding a gun to your head, you don't really want to tell him that he's holding it wrong in the safety catches. So really not a sound strategy on our part. So I'm here as the chair today, as sort of a token developer on stage. I'm not sure, I hope there's not been too much research done on me in my back catalogue. I could be having some heat as well, because I've worked on around about 20 games in my career, and there are no 10 out of 10s in there, and there are a couple of absolute stinkers.
I've got all of them right here.
That's a bit loud. And I'm sure none of us, perhaps there is, but I would guess there's nobody in this room here who's only worked on stuff that they're completely happy with, has turned out perfectly. I mean, we've all done things that we're proud of, things that have turned out pretty well, that we're happy with, but we've all been involved in things, and we've seen the many ways in which things go wrong in game development. So the question is not so much, do games suck, but how much do they suck, in what ways do they suck, maybe whose fault is it that they suck, we get into some of that stuff. And maybe at the end of that, if we've got time, a little bit of discussion about how maybe we think there might be some ways in which games might suck a little bit less in the future based on that. So it's a real pleasure and an honour to have this panel, this very illustrious panel. It's really one of the most interesting, certainly for the broader public, the broader audience. The critics of games in Australia are seemingly more recognisable faces, more celebrated than the makers of games, and it's really good to be able to have people from that have a very broad global perspective on looking at everything this industry produces at large, gets a really wide sampling of that, to tell us some of the things that we do that piss them off as a group. Initially I'm going to introduce the speakers, allow them an opening tirade to get a few things off their chest, and then we'll go into a Q&A. I have a couple of questions I can ask if things slow down, but I'm hoping that everyone in this room will be able to contribute to that discussion as well, and feel free to throw a few curly ones this way. There are also some Twitter questions I'd like to understand from the broader public. Initially, I have the pleasure to introduce Jason Hill. I'm doubly pleased actually that Jason's here, because that means I'm not the only person who doesn't have a kind of snappy internet handle to identify myself with. Feeling a little weak in that front.
We can make one for you.
Please don't. So Jason Hill is one of Australia's most respected video game journalists, winning Best Gaming Journalist at the 2007 Sun Microsystems IT Journalism Awards. The veteran has chronicled gaming's rise into mainstream entertainment and reviewed thousands of games across all popular formats since 1992. Jason writes Australia's most popular gaming blog, Screenplay. He also writes for The Age newspaper and a blog for Fairfax youth portal, The Vine. He's previously held positions including computer editor of the Herald Sun newspaper and editor of official Australian PlayStation magazine, and he served for many years on Film Victoria's digital media fund. So, Jason, I'd like you to kick us off, please.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, guys. Well, I guess I'd like to start on a bad note. What I really hate about video games is there's an awful lot to hate. Like, where do you start? You know, the awful hackneyed game design mechanics that we've seen 1,000 times before. Or do you start with the cynical marketing teams that you know, constantly push such dross onto, you know, year in, year out onto the store shelves? Or you know, do you want to concentrate on you guys, the developers that can consistently fail to push the boundaries or to push the medium forward? There is a lot to hate, but I do know that the man to my left does Venom better than probably anyone in the world at the moment. So he'll no doubt list you know, all those hateful cliches like you know, the reluctant hero, or the, you know, those block pushing puzzles that you love, or those ice and lava worlds, or yeah, exploding crates, or enemies that give you a key when they fall over, or you know, those pointless collection errands, or
Leave me something to do.
What I really want to say then is that you know, I really hate that video games still have so far to go to reach their potential. In an industry that is supposedly so fast moving, so dynamic, so exciting. If you look back, you know, sometimes if you look back at 10 years, you might think, well, have we really moved that far at all? You know, I hate how conservative game publishers are today. I hate how bored I am by the majority of game releases this year. You know, I hate how innovation is now really being pushed to the independent fringe. You know, I hate how many good games developers have got in the last year or so. And I really hate how stupid some publishers are. That they continually fuck up some of the good work that is going on in the long fight towards the legitimacy of the medium. I hate how hard it is for critics like me sometimes to argue that games are art. And you know, I really hate how so many games developers are reluctant to justify their design decisions. If I can single them out, you know, I really hate Rockstar. I hate Rockstar for pretending that they're pushing the medium forward. I hate them for courting controversy and then failing to justify their decisions. They never have the balls to answer the phone when the shit inevitably hits the fan. I hate that they really make you feel like that they're just interested in it for the money and not the art. I really want them to defend their art and their decisions, and same goes for you guys. I hate how through ignorance, stupidity, or just some stupid, bizarre marketing plan that publishers have come up with, that they so often make foolish decisions that really hurt the industry in the long run. Look, if Infinity Ward and if Activision want me to defend their decisions to let players experience the horrors of terrorism, then they're really going to have to do a much better job of it than in Modern Warfare 2. And don't get me started on something like Resident Evil 5. How Capcom could not see that, not give a shit about hundreds and hundreds of years of black and white race relations. It baffles me. I hate that it falls on me then to try and justify that. I hate it how easy we make it for Michael Atkinson. I hate it how desperate some people are in the games industry to compare the size of the industry to Hollywood. The myth that games are bigger than Hollywood is just ridiculous. I hate that. I hate how crappy you guys are